This is the solution to episode 5, the duck and the fox. The fox is going to try to get to the duck's landing spot before the duck can, and it moves 4 times as fast. There are a lot of ways that the duck could move, and it would be really hard to find a good solution by just trying to calculate a bunch of possible escape methods. How can we think about the duck's options more systematically? One thing that might help us is to use a polar framework, to think about locations in the pond in terms of their distance from the middle and their angle around, rather than their x and y coordinates on a grid. This way we can see that there are basically 2 kinds of movement the duck can do. It can either head outwards towards the shore, or it can swim around in a circle and change where it's going to land. Any path the duck takes is going to be made up of some combination of these types of movement. A good problem-solving strategy is often to think about the extreme cases first. So let's see what happens if the duck just goes from the center straight out to the shore. As it swims 1 radius, the fox has to travel halfway around the pond to meet it. The circumference of a circle is 2 pi times the radius, so the fox has to travel half of that, pi r. The duck is 4 times slower, so it's really as if it has to travel 4r. 4r is more than pi r, so this means that the duck is going to take longer to get there than the fox and will be captured. What about the opposite extreme, if the duck only moves around in a circle and changes its landing point? The outcome of this kind of maneuver is going to depend on how far out from the middle of the pond the duck is. Let's look at 2 extremes again here. Near the very middle of the pond, the duck can move just a tiny bit and force the fox to travel a lot further to reach its new landing site. Near the shore, though, the fox will be able to keep up easily. Where does the advantage switch from the duck to the fox? Well, they'll be on exactly even footing if the duck is swimming a circle that's 1/4 the size of the fox's, so that it can get by with moving 1/4 as fast. We know that the circumference of a circle is 2 pi times its radius, so if you want a circle 1/4 as long as the full shoreline, it needs to have 1/4 of the pond's full radius. So on this circle, which is 1/4 of the way out from the center, the duck could now perfectly keep up with the fox's movements on the shore. Now that we know this boundary, we can think about the duck's options much more simply. Anywhere inside of this circle, the duck has the advantage and can cover more angular distance than the fox can over time. Anywhere outside of it, the fox has the advantage. So let's say that it swims out from the middle and uses its advantage to keep the fox at its back until it reaches this circle 1/4 of the way out. Now it's going to have to use all of its speed just to stay across the pond from the fox. But if it wants to make a run for it and go straight to the shore, it'll only have to travel 0.75 r. The fox still has to go halfway around, pi r like before. Remember, the duck takes 4 times as long to travel, so effectively it really has to go 4 times 0.75 r, which is 3r. Now 3 is just a little bit less than pi, so this means that the duck can just barely escape by using this method. This problem is easy to lay out, but tricky to approach systematically. I hope going through this has shown you how looking for the edges and transitions in a space of possibilities can help to quickly map it out and then build effective strategies to navigate it. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out this week's new problem, 100 light bulbs.